Hello there! Did you know that you can save approximately 1800 hours a year just with good time management? Today we are going to talk about how to manage your time and my 7 tactics that actually work. To get to the chase, why to watch this video? What you're going to benefit? So, if you ever asked yourself what will happen if I don't spend my evening watching movies, Game of Thrones and whatever, or what will I benefit if I stop scrolling my newsfeed without knowing what I really am doing, and for whatever reason I do it all the time, how I'm going to benefit if I stop playing those mobile games and use my resource of time somewhere else. Also, if you think that you can do really good stuff with your time that you are wasting, how about the 2 books a week that we spoke about last time? You can take a look at that. And this can be done only by stealing or winning 10-12 hours a week. You can win those 10 hours in like 2 or 3 days. Now, our first tactic. We should somehow analyze our time. So I want you to go back to basics. What does this mean? Get a notebook, the smallest one that you have. And it should be like 20 or 30 rows or something like this. In that notebook you can write up each and every event that happened this week. It's really crucial and really important to be honest with yourself. You can't make any progress if you lie to yourself and say, oh, I'm productive and I am doing my best or whatever. You know that you can do it in less time, you know that you can cut this and that, you know that you can cut Netflix and mobile game that you're constantly playing, you know that you spend too much time in Facebook. Yeah guys, I know. So after this 1 week passes and you have all the information, all the data, get a blank page in your notebook and draw 2 columns. In the first column we write the stuff that we actually think we are good at and we are really productive at, and we don't need any improvement. In the next column we write all the hours that we spent watching Netflix, watching Game of Thrones, watching movies that we already watched like 100 times, chatting nonsense with family, friends and colleagues, playing mobile games, scrolling the social media feeds, I won't say which one, reading trash talk article about Mayweather and McGregor, taking 10 minutes for a blog post about the Kardashians, and so on. So after we have this information, we can combine those hours and have our week summary. Let's say that you want a lot more hours during the weekend. This is perfectly normal. For people that have 9 to 5 jobs, it's really their only free time, or at least that they think so, because we will have another video to see how much we really push ourselves and is the 8-hour workday really the maximum that you can do. But all of this is fine. Let's say that overall we have around 5 hours a day won, multiplied by 7 are 35 hours. And when you multiply this by 52, we get above 1800 hours. Guys, this is a big amount of time. I don't actually want to scare you, but this is around 75 days a year. I'm doing just some raw math. You can share your numbers in the comments. I'm sure that most of you guys do really good and the numbers are smaller, but for sure we all can improve. So after this uncomfortable math, I'm sure that you have motivation to continue forward. The second tactic is really the start of the improving process. And to be more precise, this is to start your day early. What does this mean? I know that you all need to sleep a lot to feel comfortable, but with a good sleep hygiene, you can be really productive with about 6 or 7 hours of sleep a day. I know that most of you think that 8 hours is the minimum, but actually I managed to live on 6.5 hours a day, 2 years now, and I feel really great. So you can do it too. You should find your limitations. We can do a separate video on this, but I want to throw some key points about how to do this. First of all, you should create a solid routine. This means if you go to bed in 11 or 11:30, you can start waking up at 6 or 6:30, and this will be 7 hours of sleep. If you do this 1 week to 10 days, I guarantee you that it will get easier by that time. So the first few days will be really hard. Set up 2 alarms, put one in the other part of the room so you can stand up and go to pick it. You can also install one of those apps that makes you solve a puzzle or an equation, and it doesn't allow you to snooze. Whatever you choose, just make sure that you're consistent, lying down in 1 hour, getting up in other hour. That way your biological clock will reset and will start following your daily routines. And this is just what we need. With such a routine, you can sleep with higher quality, be refreshed in the morning, and you can do so much more during the day. Also, you will be awake 2 hours before the competition, and this will give you a great advantage. Another tip for sleeping is to sleep in full darkness. This means shutter your drapes, invest in really thick drapes that won't let any lights out. Disable all the devices and all the lights that you have. Even turn the smartphone with the face down. Another good tip will be to change your alarm every week so the melody doesn't stick to your head, and with a new one you can connect it to your motivation to get up early and get things done. The third tactic is to prioritize. Really important, guys. How to do this? We should prioritize so we can achieve more. There is a saying that 20% of the effort brings 80% of the results. We need to implement this because we should know which are the most important stuff that will bring us 80% of the results in the end of the day. That way we can do the less important stuff later, and if we have time. How we can know which one is really important and which one is not? We can ask ourselves few very important questions. The first one is, should it happen today? If it most definitely should, we can ask another question. What is the benefit for me or for everyone related with completing this task? If the answer to this it's with really high benefit, we definitely can put it up the list. Always our top spots go first. That way we get the most important stuff, we get the most out of the productivity. Reading emails early in the morning should not be our priority. We should wait at least 3 to 4 hours to get all the emails, list them down, prioritize them and answer. The thing that we should do is once we are getting up early, the last step, we should start our day by prioritizing tasks with building a plan of which ones are really important and which ones are not so much. Next tactic, number 4. We should do every task with start and end points, preferably with 30 minutes margin at most. If we cannot get it into 30 minutes, we should break it to smaller pieces. In this way, we can work with maximum productivity because deadlines always stimulate the extracting of the maximum. The responsible for the task to give the exact essentials to that task and give his best and not overthink and drool over the task. Tactic number 5. How to be really productive at meetings. How to do it. We should start every meeting with the pre-planned steps of how to achieve the end result. For that to happen, we should know what we want for an end result. Once we know we are wanting outcome A and maybe an outcome B, we can pre-plan and do a list of stuff that need to happen so we can achieve our goal. That way we are going to get so much more out of every meeting, and we won't go back and forth and do the table tennis principle that always the ball is in someone, but neither takes responsibility. Another thing that will help is to explore how to do everything you do in 1 hour meeting and put it in the 30 minutes meeting. Guys like Gary Vaynerchuk, a big social media influencer, he's doing like 5-7 minutes meetings. I know that this is not really how it's done in big corporations. If you're in one, at least try to plan a 30-minute meeting that usually takes 1 hour and see what happens. When you do this, you have pre-planned, you can put a little bit of law of attraction in it and imagine how you want this meeting to end, and that way you can easily visualize the outcome and pursue this outcome. Tactic number 6. Disable all sounds notifications. That way we are not going to break our 10 minutes focus that we spoke about in last video. Our mind works best on 10 minutes work frames in which we are like from 95 to 100% concentrated. Social media notifications, unless you produce business or you gain knowledge out of it. In any other case, you don't really need it while you are working. And the really important tactic number 7, remember to do 5 to 10 minute rests. So after really focused and really concentrated 30 minutes with a lot of productivity in it, a 5-10 minute break can get you back to your upper percentage of productivity. In that way, you can be highly motivated and relaxed, refreshed for each and every upcoming task. So let's recap, guys. How are we going to achieve our perfectly time managed day? First of all, we go back to basics, write everything, draw it 2 columns, get the math, see how much we can improve, motivate yourself with those numbers, and we are going to step number 2. Start your day early, make a consistent routine of going to bed and waking up in the same hours so you can achieve maximum refreshness, maximum concentration during the day, and so you can be up 2 hours before your competition. Tactic 3, prioritize steps during the day, answer to the questions that I told you about, and you will see that really 20% of the tasks give us 80% of our results and productivity. Number 4 was to make each and every task with start and end points. Number 5 was about meetings and how we can do a little bit of flow of attraction and pre-plan the steps for success while we know how success looks like for us. Number 6 was to disable all notification during the day. No using social media unless for business or for specific knowledge. And maybe one of the most important ones, don't forget to take breaks. It's really better to gaze into the next building than to scrolling the social media feed. In the first way, you're gaining your rest. In the second way, you're going against your productivity and you get tired even more. So guys, thanks for watching. It's Cal from OG. Subscribe to the channel. Lots of stuff coming, and I see you soon.